E360 TV is more than just watching programs. We offer the ability to interact with live shows connecting audiences to real, authentic influencers and storytellers while streaming to millions of devices. Real experiences. Raw conversations. One destination for it all. E360 TV.
My name is Dr. Kent Mercado, and I'm running for Congress. For the past 25 years, I've served the 11th District as a physician, an attorney, and a humanitarian. I'm running for Congress to have a larger impact and to bring your voice to Washington. I've visited every county in the district, and I've met with thousands of people, listening and learning from them about their concerns. I found that family values and kitchen table issues are what's most important. So we need to reignite the economy, improve our educational system, ensure the safety of our communities, provide access to affordable physical and mental health care, and of course support our farmers. I'm Dr. Kent Mercado, and I'm running for Congress to be your voice. Together we can make sustainable solutions for our nation.
You can navigate the legal and emotional journey of divorce and exit a marriage the way you entered it, with mindfulness, love, and respect. Solace Divorce Mediation is a full-service law practice helping couples focus on the health and well-being of children and their forever co-parenting family. Our streamlined divorce journey offers flat fees with an estimated completion time frame of 2 to 4 months. If you or a friend need us, visit solacedivorce.com.
I'm back home, y'all. I missed you guys. I missed my studio. I was in a garage all week last week in San Diego, and having to do it from my phone, right? Look at these fingers, right? Trying to push those little big buttons on the phone. I'm surprised 4 commercials didn't play at once. I'm not kidding. I had a great time, though, you guys. I was out at the RP XP retreat, and boy, let me tell y'all, I don't know who you thought you knew, but that guy that used to sit in this chair, Friday, when I came home a changed man. I am changed forever. I'll tell y'all a little bit as we get going through the week, but boy, because I'm gonna have some clips to show you. Seriously, I am not kidding you. I'm gonna just give you this piece. Have any of you ever heard of a thing called cradling? Where the person who is going through something lays back into the arms of the collective, and we literally lift the person up, supporting all parts of their body from the crown of their head to the soles of their feet. I experienced that. I was not the one being cradled, but I was helping to cradle. And let me tell you, I'm still saying it. I did not know this experience I had during this, where everyone was focused on one thing. See, those promises were 2 or more. We think we know what they mean. I thought I did. But Lord Jesus, hallelujah, Father Abraham. I'm trying to get it all in. I'm not kidding. I experienced something during this cradling ceremony. It was a place I never even knew existed. It was a feeling, it was a baptism inside. Y'all, all of this stuff that I'm telling you, keep going and just keep asking for clarity, for discernment. Keep hanging on. I am telling you, I was baptized inside of a space that I didn't even know existed. I did not know it existed. It was just incredible. I'll tell y'all more about it as the time goes on, but I want to get our guest in here. I mean it. I'm not concerned about anything after this experience. I'm not concerned about money, generational wealth, happiness, joy, what the next big thing within my brands is going to be. I watch what happens. Watch what happens. Y'all think y'all done seen something already up to this point? You ain't seen nothing. I'm telling you what, because what I saw, what I experienced last Thursday night. And those of you that have been on calls with me since I got back, you know what I'm talking about. I feel like this, and this I'm gonna get Barbara Beckley in here, y'all. I'm just saying this because when a first is always a first. So this is the first time I'm telling y'all about what happened with me. So that means that if I tell you things a million times moving forward about, oh, guess what happened to me? This one, I wanted to stand out. I said this when they did a testimonial video before I left San Diego. They got me outside and asked me. It was like 20 minutes after this experience that I'm speaking of. And they said, well, wait a minute. Okay, there. Okay, Comcast, keep playing with me. Okay, there it is. Everybody ought to get one. Everybody ought to get one of these experiences. You should not leave this journey without experiencing what I cannot even describe, which is what happened to me. It was just incredible. It was as if God took his fingers and opened up the doors of heaven and said, look, and I was like, I know why. First thing I said afterwards, well, now I know why people that have near-death experiences and experience that light say they don't want to come back. That's all I'm going to say for now. That's all I'm going to say for now. I'm telling you, boy, I thought I knew. Didn't have a clue. Didn't have a clue. Not compared to what I feel I know today. So anyway, Barbara Beckley's going to come in here. We're going to talk Diamond Factor. Diamonds are forever. Remember that from James Bond? Yeah. Barbara Beckley. Oh my goodness. I've known this woman for years. I remember she came to an event here in Chicago. We were both at it. The Levines, Jeff Levine and them. I can't remember what they called it, but what was it called? Something. Anyway, I met Barbara there, and just watched her. Then I started seeing her little face pop up all over the place, right? I mean, everywhere. I was like, ain't that lady from Jeff Levine's group? And anyway, now and then she found her way to the E360 TV network, got a whole boatload of shows. We're going to talk about that, on her way to becoming a network president. And I just love her. Absolutely love her. So without further ado, I'm going to get Barbara in here to talk about all kinds of things today. I think this is the first time Barbara's been on my show. Oh, and I'll tell you this. She's on the next cover of Trajectory Magazine coming up for the end of the year issue. So without further ado, roll out your virtual red carpet, get on your virtual feet. And how do you do that? You do it by putting some hearts on the screen, because here comes today's guest, kicking off the week with Barbara J. Beckley. Hey, right off the grip.
Wow.
How are you?
Hey, Dr. Loren Michaels here. Oh, no, wonderful, Dr. Loren Michael.
Oh, you kill me. She's always calling me Mr. Wonderful or something. And you're so funny. How are you today?
I'm doing great. I'm thinking about our virtual green room talk. So I said, okay, I got to be careful.
Oh, yeah. We're going to put a little bit of that out there. Has to do with a platform, a social media platform that will remain nameless. Let's put it this way. Your best friend, your BF, flip it. I'm just covering my butt. Don't make me take you to court. Whoever owns it now. That platform has kicked Barbara off permanently, they said. Like you got caught snatching a baby or something. I'm like, what? Sweet, innocent little Barbara Beckley? Oh, wow. Well, we'll get into that. Before we get started, I want to ask you something. The name Barbara, everybody likes to give it a nickname. Barb.
Oh,
Babs.
Lord.
Babs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Have you ever been called Babs?
Yes, I have when I was younger. In
Babs.
fact, my mother. Yes. And I was like, first, when I was younger, I didn't know where that came from because I was too young to figure out what it was. I was
Barbara
like, okay,
Streisand.
where did it get from? Yeah. And then my mother, because my mother named me, that's what she named me after. She named me after, she loved Barbara Streisand. She loved her, singing and everything. I mean, she was like a Barbara Streisand fan. So she named her first child, well, only child.
Call your mom, tell her she and I need to have lunch. Is she still alive?
Okay. No, I'll have to call her from the heavens, but she
yes.
Yeah,
oh my God, are you kidding me? Love.
That was her lady. Yeah, that was her. I'm telling you, she named me after her. Yeah,
we would have got a lot. Ouch! I found out why I keep getting kicked off the internet.
Oh boy!
Guess what it is? My guy put a fan in my laptop and forgot one of the corners, the one where all the stuff is plugged in, is up.
Oh, yeah.
It didn't click shut all the way. Because I was wondering, how's the TV on and all these different things.
Mm.
And then I keep getting, so anyway, we figured out he's coming Wednesday to fix it. So Barbara, let's get started. You do everything we see you doing. You have how many shows on the E360 Trajectory Network?
Right now, I have three.
Three. Yes. And you're building. Oh, you have a new one coming too.
Well, I have a few, but I'm not on some of them. Thank God.
Yes.
You said, how many shows you have now, Barbara? So you're right. It's getting to be kind of too much. So now I got shows where other people are doing their shows. So I'm like, yay, please do that show.
Well, tell us how you got. Well, first of all, backstory. Where'd you grow up? And what did you dream of becoming when you were little Babs?
I see this is going to go through the whole interview with the Babs. Okay. Well.
Okay, wait. Barbie?
No, Loren, that's high school years. Don't do that to me.
They called you Barbie? So you've been Babs, Barbara, Barb, and Barbie. You've been all of them.
All of them. And they used to.
Every Barbara I meet says that happened to her. She's had every one of those nicknames.
Everyone. Well, see, the Barbie came in high school, and they used to call me Black Barbie. But they did it. It wasn't in a good way. It wasn't a bad way. I mean, yeah. But yeah,
You would
those
say
are
that.
days that I really didn't like.
Black Barbie.
Yeah, I was like,
Wow.
we don't mean it that way. I said, oh, okay.
That's always how it
Babs,
goes.
Barbie.
I'm trying a new keto cereal with a banana today.
Ooh,
Trying to do
how does it
better.
taste?
Good. That retreat I was at, all vegan food, so good, shocked me because I didn't think I'd like vegan. I bought a vegan cookbook from the chef. I'm gonna do a vegan meal once a week. I'm telling you, everything. I want to change everything. I want everything to be better this coming year. Everything, my health, my wealth, everything.
Everything.
I even want my toenails to be better. We ain't even gonna go there. You think your social media platform story is something? We don't even go into them toenails, girl. No.
Why you do that? I got a vision of it.
Ooh. We won't even go. So, Barbara, where did you grow up? Was it the Midwest? Where?
Yeah, I grew up in Chicago, Illinois, on the north side of Chicago. For a little bit between, when I was born till like 13. And then I moved to the south side of Chicago, which I didn't want to go. I fought, but my mother, my dad basically got a divorce. And I had to wind up going with my mother. So she wanted to go to the north side. Plus, found out she had a boyfriend. So did that part of it. So, when you're younger, you can only make the decisions that your parents make. But yeah, I grew up in Chicago.
So you finished high school, then what happened?
Then I finished high school, and before I finished high school, something very, very, very detrimental happened in my life, which changed the trajectory of my life. Which when I turned the age of 17, a year before I was going to graduate, like you said, the diamond factor that I named my whole being, I feel like, yes, it is, passed away. And that was my dad. Jim, he was the one that told me, you're a diamond in the rough, Barbara. You are going to be something spectacular. Don't let people tell you differently. Because at that point in time, everybody was telling me either from ugly to fat to alien. I'm telling you, Loren. I mean, they even told me, they said, they used to call me E.T. They said, E.T., you need to go back home. And I was sitting there like, wow, I mean, I'm that bad that I'm from another planet, really? So it was bad. Really heavy bullying that I got when I was younger. But my dad was always the one that's always encouraging me, hugs me, kisses, all that stuff. Well, at the age of 17, he passed away, but he got killed. He was murdered. And shattered my whole entire.
Oh my goodness, Barbara, I didn't know that.
Yeah, whole entire life. But the thing is, Loren, and you were talking about, God and how opening the, gates and everything like that.
Yeah.
That happened to me because after he passed, I went into a whirlwind to the point where they had to send me to the hospital and do a 48-hour suicide watch because I was to that point of saying, I'm done. Why should I even stay here? And as they was keeping me in the room, and I was looking for stuff. I was in that room like, okay, what can I use? Because there's really not too much in the room, especially a suicide watch. They're not going to put a knife in there or anything or pills because they're going to be like, okay, well, we don't want to do that. So I found a butter knife.
You're wrong.
I found a butter knife.
You found a butter knife?
I found a butter knife. So I said, okay, this might have to do. It might take a little longer, but it might do the trick. That was in my mindset at that time because I wanted to go. So the nurse came in and she's like, I got to take your vital signs, Miss Beckley. And, I said, okay, do what you got to do, but you need to leave quick because I'm trying to do what I need to do. I mean, that was in my head. That was the only thing going in my head, Loren, because I was just like, I was done. I was
come back in 10 minutes, won't be none to take.
Thank you. That's why I say you can take all the blood after that because I was going to be gone. But before she left that room, Lauren, this is where that open curtain.
Yeah.
She turned around. Now, this woman didn't know me from nobody. She didn't know my dad. She didn't know anybody in my family. All she knew is that I was 17 years old and I was going through trauma. And she came back. And I'm still looking at her like, okay, didn't I tell you? In my mind, I said, would you just leave? Because I'm trying to.
Dang, what you doing back?
So she came and she said, something telling me that whatever you're thinking about doing, you do not need to do that, because who you ever passed in your life, they feel like you was a diamond in the rough and you're going to do big things in life. And you don't need
literally
to
said that.
She literally said that. My dad used to tell me that all the time. One of my teachers, when I was even younger, told me that about the diamond in the rough, because they told me about the diamond story. So Loren, when she said that, my whole being, my mind, my everything just clicked into place.
Wow.
And at that point in time, I was, no, okay, this is God. This is God talking through her, telling me I need to stop thinking what I'm thinking. I need to quit all that. Yeah.
And just like that.
That paved me the way to say, if I don't do anything in life, I'm going to make sure at that time will make my dad proud, because he believed in me and he's going to be the one. That was my anchor at that time. And then God,
Right.
of course.
I figured, I think I caught when you said about when the divorce happened and you moved with your mother. I think you kind of said, and I had to go with her. And you didn't so I figured, oh, you really wanted to go with your dad.
Yes.
Let me ask you, did you ever think, like, if I had gone with him, maybe it would have, did you go through all of that? He wouldn't have gotten murdered. And then did you blame your mom? See, if you hadn't taken me, I can just see how many back and forths. Oh my God. Now, are you an only child?
Yes.
You are?
Yeah. Yes.
You're an only child and you were dealing with all that bullying and stuff?
Yes. Yep. Only child.
And Barbara, I find it so ironic that you came through that. When I met you, I told you, I said, oh my God, you have one of those famous personas. You do. There are certain people that just have a look that you just know is going to be a famous look. No one looks like them. And remember when I was telling you this? Oh my God, you should be on the box. You need some pancakes or some any kind of anything, moisturizer. Anything you put your face on it, people are gonna fall in love with it. So wow. So let me ask you. You're in the behavioral sciences. This thing happens.
Yes.
Wow, it just dawned on me. So wait a minute. Both parents are gone. You have no siblings.
Nope.
You don't have children.
Nope. That's another story.
And you're getting divorced as we speak.
Yes. Well, that day, that's a celebration, but keep going.
Right. And here you are on all these television shows, constantly pouring into the world to keep this stuff moving forward and to keep people moving forward. How do you do it?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, I mean, I don't have many people that I can go to. Seriously, you'd think with two families, but no. Brian, pretty much. Brian and a couple really great friends, Jason Cisneros, Mark Haddis. I have that. So what's that like? I bet you have some really good friends, huh?
I have two good friends. One of them is just recently came into my life as my pastor. And that was a godsend, because I
love her.
Yeah, you met her, Pastor Christina. Yes.
Yes. Beautiful spirit.
Beautiful, beautiful spirit. And just a really close, most pastors, some people be like, okay, that's my pastor. I can't say nothing. I can't really hang out. I can't be like what I want to be like, be me, right? Total opposite with her. And I'm loving it because it's making me feel so welcome, like family. And that's something that I thought I was okay. You know, you keep moving, like you said, Loren, you keep doing what you have to do, like the shows and everything. But then I knew something was still kind of missing a little bit. And when she came along, you know, her and her husband, I was like, wow, that's looked like what I needed, and didn't even realize it. Yeah.
Well, and you know you have us.
Oh yeah,
We're your
definitely.
family
Yes,
too.
yeah, Mr. Wonderful Loren, of course. You have encouraged me when we first met. Now we didn't go there, but when you got up, I forgot what it was called too. I forgot. I was like, when you said the name, I said, yeah, I don't know the name of it either. That
Oh,
sounds
the
sad.
event? I know, I can't remember it
Yeah,
either.
I said, ooh. So
And
I was like, ooh. But the only thing I remember, and I know I'm probably gonna get some slack for it, which I don't care, is you. When you took on the stage, well, it was not, we were like in an auditorium, but you were like in a more, you know, convenient place, and you took the stage. I say you took the stage. I was like, okay, whatever I do, I'm not leaving out here until I meet him, even if I say Barbara Beckley and then keep on moving so he can remember who I am.
oh my goodness. You're so silly. I just love you.
I just knew it. I said, that's the next level that I want to be in. You know, you always look for people like that to say, okay, where do you know you're moving forward, especially in this industry, what we're doing. And I said, especially with the speaking that time too. And I seen you and I said, that's it. That's what I want.
Boy, that was
Yeah.
back in the early days too.
I know.
Just
I
getting
know. I was doing
started.
that traveling. Remember, you just found out that I was traveling from Wisconsin
Wisconsin.
to Naperville. It was it
Yeah.
was
Yeah,
yeah.
Naperville. And
Mhm.
so, Barbara, so okay. I just man, I'm really just stuck listening to, I mean, still really processing, I guess I should say,
Mhm.
all of this stuff.
Mhm.
Okay. So you
Mhm.
move through life, and at what point of your life did you start looking for all the things that, you know what I mean? Because that's one thing about you. You always in something. You may not have a lot of people around you, but you have a lot of people around you because you're always doing something. So when you started the quest, you
Mhm.
know, going to events and this and that, what was it you were trying to put your finger on? What do you think today it was? And did you find it?
You know, Lauren, I after going just had to go back to 17 again because after that, you know, that like moment of God coming in my life, because it was, um, I just told myself I didn't want anybody to go whatever if someone was going through what I went through, as far as the
Yeah.
bullying and you shouldn't even be on this earth type of thing. I mean, that as a child, especially a young adult, that can do something to your mind and your
Yeah.
heart and your soul. I mean, somebody telling you that you shouldn't be on this earth, why are you here? That is deep. And I just promised myself, Lauren, that I need to be a beacon of light to people that are dealing with that. And I'm really, I mean, on a really serious note, I really, really get, and I don't want to cry, I get really emotional and pissed off when I see anybody treating somebody the wrong way. And I don't care who they are.
Yep.
And so I said that's me, and that's what I need to do. And I don't care.
Yeah.
I said once I get my wings, till I get my wings, I always say that I'm going to make sure that I'm that beacon of light. And I was just trying to figure out ways to do it because my daytime job, which I've been doing for, okay, I'm telling my age, 40 some years, is in the insurance industry. Who would think
Okay.
that? Because, you know, a lot of people see me, like you said, my shows and I'm interviewing people and I'm out there. And then they're like, so you do what in the day? I said, insurance. They're like, huh? I said, yeah, it's not too exciting. but it's bringing my investment check to me. So,
Right.
but yeah, but I just told myself, Lauren, that I needed to. I just felt it in my whole being that I wanted to be that beacon of light for people that are out there just suffering and dealing with a lot of crap that people are putting out there to them. Yeah.
Do you ever speak with kids and that sort of thing? Do you do keynote speaking?
Yeah, I do some. I've been really, you know, doing more of the, you know, media and stuff recently, but I used to go out and speak a lot. Go out
Mm.
and speak a whole lot. And that's my platform about purpose. So I have a keynote called PPD. I know I told you about it before, and it's kind of close to what you do. I remember one time you said, wait a minute now, is it not going to be the same thing?
Don't make me sue you. Yeah, I think you said something that sounded just like one, but you know what? That's their own. It's like piano keys. Every song is played from the same set of keys, but so many songs sound so different. But you know what I'm saying? I guess I'm saying when it comes to trauma and those stories that we all go through, a lot of times we're when we really listen closely, we find that we're not so different.
Yeah,
Those of us out there that have gone through, because I went through bullying.
Yeah.
And I know how that feels. And I could never fight. They would never, when I was a boy, they try to make me fight. Because hey, sissy, that was the thing, right? I was like, whatever. But as soon as I saw other people being bullied, I tear you up. Like I was like some kind of a rabbit, raccoon or something. Just jump on her. But if it was me, I would never stand up for myself. But it was so easy to stand up for others.
Yeah.
And I know now. Yeah. Well, that's because we're service centered. Even then, in the midst of all that, we still had an innate need to be of service to others.
Yes.
Before we could even be of service to ourselves, So let me ask you something. So today, when it comes to the bullying and stuff that you went through, how do you use it today to help others in whatever it is that they're dealing with that might not feel so comfortable? And how does it make you feel now to be able to do this kind of work?
Loren, it makes me feel so good to the point where some people keep telling me, well, don't lose yourself, Barbara. You always cheering for so many people and putting them on the pedestal and being their cheerleader. They said, don't forget you. And I said, no, I'm not forgetting me, because that's what I like to do. I like to see people when they tell me the aha moments they have, when we either I do my coaching or be on my show and tell me, wow, I feel more comfortable, or wow, I feel more confident, or I didn't know I can do this, Barbara, and you told me I can do it, and I did it. See, that kind of stuff, Loren, it pulls on my heartstrings, because that's what I want to hear. And see, in some cases, I didn't get that. Just real quickly, I mean, some of my storyline too. I was, sexually assaulted, abused when I was 23, and people said basically I brought on myself. So I didn't get the, oh my God, so I got that. When I went through my cancer thing, and when I turned 45, I had uterus cancer, and being with him in a marriage that was crazy, basically told me I brought it on myself, found I couldn't have children because of that. And they said, well, you brought on yourself. See, that was just like the theme thing. You brought on yourself. And I'm like, how am I bringing all this stuff on myself? I didn't ask for all this. I mean, in the back of my mind, right? It's like,
I mean, we laughing, but come on now.
Like,
you sat on that picnic bench over there by that sycamore tree. Don't you know you'll get cancer? I mean, what does that mean? You brought it on yourself?
Yeah. And I was like, am I a bad person somewhere? It's like, okay, yeah, boom, boom, you get this.
Yeah.
I feel like the price is right. So I was like, what's this? Yeah, curses and stuff. And they were really trying to put that on me, and I had to rebuke that. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, I had to stop that, because I'm like, no. And that it seemed like all that was building, Loren, of what I was trying to do for others. Because all that stuff in those different sections of my life, I said, no. This is not going to happen to others. I cannot let this keep moving on. And then now I know there's reasons why I went through what I went through. Because some people be like, hey, bro, you went through this, and this. I said, but first of all, everybody goes through their stories. I get that. I said, but it depends on the choice you make on how you're going to work the story in your life, the journey, and say to yourself, are you going to be that victim? Or are you going to be the person to say, you know what, I need to get up and do and make sure maybe others don't go through that. Be that, like I said, become light. I always say the lighthouse of the world. So that's basically what keeps me moving. That's the drive that I always have, is making sure that, that I'm there for people. Yeah. And I feel like through my shows and through being out there in the media and just saying, here's a woman that people said I was the ugliest thing in the world. People said I was the biggest thing in the world, not big like popular, but big like fat. And I'm doing shows. I'm showing people to do shows. I'm
About to be on the cover of a magazine.
Yes.
I know. Congratulations. And and it's so let me ask you this. Have you ever been to a reunion? Class reunion?
Yes, I have.
You did?
Yeah.
I've never gone back yet. I've never gone back yet. I didn't feel I would go now. There was supposed to be one during COVID, but of course it was COVID. I would have gone, I think. Talk about that. A lot of people, what was that like? Going and what made you go back to the proverbial scene of the crime? I mean, really, did you want to go back and say, look, I don't care what y'all said, and I am a happy, thriving, successful woman? Talk about that. What was that like? Was it easy? Was it hard?
Yeah, because I went to just one reunion. I think it was our 25th reunion or something like that. And my bestie, the other friend, like I said, in my life, we've been knowing each other since we were 16. Well, we met in high school. And she called me. She said, well, Barbara, Hyde Park, because I went to Hyde Park, a career academy. And she said, you're going to go to reunion. You see that? I said, no. So as she called, I was like, no, why should I go? They're the ones. And then all of a sudden I stopped myself in the midst of me telling her, they're the ones that I stopped. And I said, wait. Why am I going to give them power? What am I doing? Change it, trajectory of it. Change it. So I said, you know what? You're right. I'm going to go. And she's like, oh. She was kind of, because I was just going into, that mode of forget them, said some bad words here and there. I didn't want to be just a family show. No, I'm not going to go. I'm just not going to go. But I switched it because I said, Loren, again, if I'm talking about helping and making sure that you're okay and showing people and showing up, that's what I did. So I went. And the funny thing is, Loren, all the people that were like, how in the yearbook where it says this is going to be the most popular and this is going to be the most this and this is going to be the person they're going to succeed in life and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And the only thing they had for me, I think it was, I don't even know, I was hidden somewhere. It was a pep rally and you can see my little face over there in the corner somewhere.
Buried behind a bunch of
people. And when I went there, all of that was opposite of what they said there was going to be when it was in the yearbook.
All the
and I was like the one that was like more, doing more of what they were doing. I was like, see how things change. But you know what? Even with that, I didn't get upset. Because first I could have witnessed and said, ha, 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 ha. You said, and I could have did all that kind of stuff.
Well.
Look
right.
What here.
Right.
Mr. Popular became Mr. Beer Belly. I mean,
right.
That's what was going on.
Exactly. That's how it was in my class. Yeah. It completely flipped. I saw the pictures and I heard the stories, even though I hadn't gone. I had friends who did go. So excuse me. Let's talk about that piece. Because I recently experienced that. He was here on the show. Some of you probably remember Henry, my adopted brother, who I hadn't spoken to in 50 years. And last year in December, whenever the movie came out, Heathen, he saw the movie and called me. I don't know where he got the phone number, but he called me and left a voice message. And I still have it on my phone. And I had rehearsed for decades because it had been 50 years. Like I said, I was a kid. And I had rehearsed. You'll see when the day comes, you're going to come crawling back. You're going to want me in your life. And when you do, and I had practiced all these things I was going to say, like you say, nah, now. Oh, well, now you know me, And then in that moment, when I called him back, it wasn't until I heard his voice on the other side of the phone that I realized I was no longer that person who had been rehearsing all these shitty things that I rightfully, justifiably so, could say. But I just did not. There was no, these were zero spiritual, 0-calorie words. They had no healing within. They had nothing, no good intentions within, and they would not pass my lips. And so I learned a lot about myself in that moment. And it sounds like you did too.
Yeah.
when
Yeah,
you look back?
because I said, do I want to turn to the people that was crucified? Well, I put it in
Well,
crucified.
yeah, no,
Do I want to turn to
that's
people
real
that
talk.
yeah. Do I want to turn to those individuals that was crucifying me? Do I want to turn to individuals that was, basically saying that I shouldn't be, there's no purpose for me in this world? I mean, basically that's what I'm saying. So I'm like, I can't do that. I'm the one that's trying to be the cheerleader for people. Now, and I'm going to turn around and be the other bad guy. I said, no, I can't do it. Even to the point where the person, Loren, that basically raped me, I went to court and everything, went through the whole deal with that, and forgave him. Forgave him. And everybody to this day, they're still looking at me like, what was you thinking, Barbara? After what he did? I said, you know what? He's a child of God too. Now, I'm not saying I like what he did. No, I'm not saying all that.
Right.
That was, but I had to forgive, not so much, how you always hear, not so much for them, but for yourself.
For
Because if I
yourself.
would carry that in me and doing what I'm trying to do and then carry that in me, that was going to put a that's like it would have been a wall in my life. So, yeah.
So how do you respond to people today, Barbara, when they ask you to explain what the meaning of diamond factor is? Because it's all across your brands. So what do you say to people? Because I know you get asked.
Yeah,
How do you
I do
explain
get
it?
asked.
How do you
I
explain
always
it?
I always tell people, because it goes back to, the diamond in the rough story where my teacher told me the story. And then my dad just clinged on to it. It's funny because they didn't even meet until later and they didn't even know they were saying the same thing to me. But through that, I always thought about, the diamond, it goes through different layers and different, cuts and the, shaping and all that, what they say. And then even the heat. I mean, very, like you said, it has to be like heat, like, to get to a diamond. So I was thinking to myself, I said, you know what? They're talking about I'm a diamond in the rough. Well, I see everybody in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they become that beautiful diamond, just like you, and I tell some people, say, well, I don't like diamonds. I said, well, then be a gem, be a ruby, whatever you want to be, but make sure that you are you and you understand you have a purpose here and you understand that you got that voice. So I always tell people, you're diamond factor. You have that unique quality in you that shines. And that's where I always that's where I build my platform is the
So
people that need that.
So how do you feel today, Barbara, when you look in the mirror, when you get dressed and when you step into your purpose? When was it that you feel like you really, like let's say purpose was this robe or something, when did you feel you really donned your purpose, really put it on, buttoned it
Well,
up?
first of all, I like that robe because it's purple.
I don't thank you. A viewer sent this to me. It's monogram too. I know. I love this robe. It's so plush.
It looks pretty, yeah, and it's royalty because it's purple too, and you're royalty. So okay, so let me go answer your question. So
Yes.
yeah, Loren, you know what really, because everybody say, yeah, in your life, Barbara, where did that what you're talking about? I said it happened when my mother passed, and that was 13 years ago. And my dad's relationship was like I told you, like this. I mean, when he, like I said, was shattered in my life. My mother, not so much. In fact, it was very broken. There was, there was blame, a lot of blame there. I call her Sergeant Beckley. She was almost like the bullies in my life in a sense, because she would always say I was never good at, every time I did something, it wasn't good enough. I mean, quick example. Came to high school now. After my father passed, I finally got myself together to go back to high school and graduate with honors. And I can't believe that after the stuff I was going through. I'm sitting there running home. Hey, Mom, I got honors, all A's in my class. You know what she told me? All A's. Where's A? Where's A plus? I got whiplash. I was like, what?
Never enough.
Don't. I know you were like, I don't want you to choke. But yeah, it was
I
never
was.
every time, never enough. Everything I did, went to high school, got graduated, went to college, and working during the daytime. Got my 2 degrees, not just one. Never enough. She said, well, where's your master's? I mean, it was just an ongoing situation here. And 3 weeks before she passed away, because she wound up dealing with kidney failure, and I moved her to Wisconsin because I just couldn't. I kept doing the trips, trying to make sure she was okay. And I said, you know, Ma, you have to come with me. I don't want to go to Wisconsin. I said, you had to come with me. We're not going to argue with this no more. You can hate all you want. You're coming with me. So she stayed the next 3 years, you know, with me. And 2 weeks before she passed, we because she used to like to go out to breakfast. That was her thing. She just loved breakfast, and she loved like being Miss Queen, being Miss center of attraction. That's what she was.
Yeah.
And I asked a question to her, and I was like, "Ma, I have to ask this." And she's like, "What?" Because she just had that, that was her. And I said, "Why did you love me? I mean, do you love me?" I mean, I asked that question to her, and I was at that time 42. I said, "Did you?" Because it seemed like I was not doing nothing right. It was like, and it seemed like I was, just going through trying to do right for you, because you seemed like I wanted your approval on stuff, and sitting there still going through the other craziness I was going through with others, and still trying to prove myself to you. I said, "Was I adopted?" I even asked her.
My goodness.
She looks at me. She's like, she got that mother look all of a sudden. Because one thing, she can do that look. You know how those mothers have them look, and you be like, "You better not go there." I messed up. Or I talk back. I messed up. She gonna, and she would do that. Right. I mean, when I was doing, she would. So she looks at me, and she's like, "What are you talking about? You adopted?" She said, "Believe me, if you was adopted, I wouldn't go through all the stuff I went through with you, pushing you and stuff." She said, "I didn't want you to become me. I didn't want you to be the young girl that came from Mississippi that just got a 7th grade level school and was having to work in factories and, people saying that, you're stupid and stuff like that." And she said, and then to the point where I became in my own family. And this was like huge when she said this, which I didn't know none of this. That's why I said, learn people's stories, that they prostituted her, she said, when she came from Mississippi to here. Because she was real, my mother was real pretty lady and everything, and skinny, everything. And they said, "You don't have to go to school. You don't have to work. We're just going to make sure you do this." These are cousins from my family that, well, second, third cousins. After third cousins, I don't even know if it's even family no more. But you know how that goes.
Right.
But yeah, so all of this is coming out, Loren, after 40 some years of my life that I didn't even know.
Didn't know this about your own mom.
No. And all the like our relationship was all this. And I was like, wow, the only thing I could say is I didn't know. Now, mind you, was it right for her to do all the stuff she did and to me and everything? No. Was it hurtful that, I didn't have to really bond with my mother? Yeah, it hurt. But after hearing that, it just kind of washed some of the stuff away. It was my understanding. That's what blew me away. So that was 2 weeks before she passed. Oh. And then when she was in the hospital and I was by her bedside and I was holding her hand, I said, "Ma," I said, "I have to thank you for loving me
the best you could.
The best you could, because, you made me to the person that was resilient. You made me to the person that would push. You made me to the person that no matter what anybody said, you could still do it." Because she owned a business. She owned a lounge. I mean, she did all that with a 7th grade level.
Right.
Yeah. And a little help from her friend.
Okay.
Doing the business side, because she didn't understand kick in and help. But still, she had that tenacity to say, "You know what? I don't care what nobody said." 4'11" old lady, putting out 6 feet men out of bars. It was like, really, Mom? But all that, I was just thinking when I was sitting by her bedside, I said, yeah, you did the other side that needed what I needed to keep pushing. So she looked over at me, and then it was after that 2 hours later, she passed. And she's like, "Don't let anybody stop you from shining." She said, "I don't care who they are." She said, "I know I'm leaving. I won't be here to push you and yell at you." That's what she told me. She said, "But I know that you have it in you, and I believe in you." And when those words hit Just again, Loren. And she passed 2 hours later. I said, I'm here. It's just me now. It's just me. Well, God, of course. But at that time, it was just me. And I said, any means necessary. Now I sound like any means
Malcolm.
necessary. Yeah, Malcolm X says, okay. Any means
It was
necessary.
true. I say it all the time, by any means necessary. You doggone Skippy.
Yeah.
I know you like that, right? Wow. And you know, it's so, thank you so much for sharing that. That was absolutely beautiful and very thought-provoking, because you know, we always hear hurt people, but and I was just writing that down the other day, you know, but there's a second side to that, because it's never about just one thing. And hurt people also heal people. Hurt people heal people. You know, your mom healed you in a way she hadn't been able to your entire life with her in those last moments. You know, and my mother she died 10 minutes after I left that hospice room.
Wow.
And she was the one that told me, I've seen where God is taking you, son. And she told me what to do with it. And what she described literally started not 3 weeks after she passed. This work that I do today. She didn't know what to call it, but she surely described it to a T. And, you know, wow. Just really, really amazing. Barbara, you, man. So let me ask you something. In today's world, you know, when you're doing the things you're doing, and how do you feel about this one? You hear people say, I say it all the time, but I just myself, with this experience I just had last week, realized that because I was holding, or what do they call it? What is that saying where you hold, what is it? Hold the toe, or toe the row, or whatever. It's something that rhymes. Well, it means you stick to it. You find something that works for you, and no matter what, you stick to it. If people are calling you names or whatever, you still stick to it. And I'm going to tell you something. I realized once and for all, it's like, I'm so glad I decided to stop hanging out where I was simply tolerated, and would just be okay with it just being me, until I found myself in a place where I was celebrated. And as long as it's just me, I'm a celebrate, you know, everything I can. I don't need others to celebrate me. I celebrate with God, and God celebrates with me. And boy,
so true.
that's a big piece. That's a big piece of the journey. So let me ask you this. During all of that time, over the years, since you were 17 and you had that suicide attempt, has it ever crossed your mind again? Because you went through a lot. You went through the cancer, you went through the rape and all that. Did you go to that place, or had you grown through that place?
I gone through that place, but it did pop in my mind when I went through my cancer episode. And when the doctor said, either two things here, Barbara, you can either one, see if we can help you to the point where you might want to have a child. And even if you try to have a child, childbearing and stuff, you might lose a child, or you might lose your life. Or two, have the hysterectomy done and then be cancer free, hopefully be cancer free, and then move on with your life. And at that point in time, and I never was a woman. You know how some ladies like, oh, I can't wait to have a child and a baby and all that. Yeah. For some reason, I never was in that zone. I was just because I was just pushing myself and working and stuff. But at that time, when he told me that, it just triggered in my mind, like, wow, I can never leave a legacy of a person from me right now. I got to make that decision. And you know, it
doesn't mean the same while it's still an option, but the minute you're told it is no longer an option,
it was.
You feel some kind of way.
Yeah, and I was like, dang. And then that other voice came in my head. Well, you know, you done it to yourself. So like, I was like, oh. So I was like, oh no, we ain't gonna go there. I've seen this before.
So you just gonna hit people with trash cans? Remember Della Reese? I'm half now. I got to cut you. Did you shoot its pinky toe off? Did you, Barbara? Did you shoot its pinky toe off? I would have got that right. You know, because I talk to those things that do not serve me like they always spoke to me. I tell them straight out, look, don't get it twisted. I ain't no grandmama clump. You ain't gonna walk over here and limp back. I'm gonna try to cut your ass in half for real, because I mean it. Those things, think about it, Barbara. The bullying that you went through, do you know how many people have taken their lives because they could not handle that? Do you know how many people that got life-threatening diagnoses and just gave up and let it take them, or they took their own lives? Do you know how many people, when the divorce thing came up, couldn't take it and took their own lives? On and on and on. You know, that is why, you guys, we must celebrate our victories, especially those personal victories, those ones that it doesn't look like a victory in any way, shape, or form to the outside world, but we know it is a victory because I am still here.
Standing, yeah.
Okay, standing, still here. So tell people about your shows, what day and what time they come on. I've got some links to where you guys can check more things, Barbara, out. But Barbara, go ahead, tell people the names of your shows and where they can find them.
So on E360 TV with Loren, and one of my shows is called Coaches Lounge. It comes on every Friday, 9:00 Central Time, and basically I interview coaches, consultants, and educators to give them a light, because sometimes people don't give them their love, give them their flowers. Another show, Help Humanity, comes on first and third Thursdays, 8:00 in the p.m., 8:00 p.m. Central Time. Basically nonprofit organizations. If you have a nonprofit, you want to shine a light on them, please come my way. And then I have the BBs, Time to Shine, on Tuesdays at 9:00 Central Time. And it's myself and Barbara Ellis showing her some love. We just basically have some fun interviews. Yeah. So those are the three, and more to come from other hosts, not just me on it.
Not just Barbara, but other hosts, and they're all great. And yes, looking forward to that. And shout out to Barbara Ellison. I had on my Impactor t-shirt the other day, and Brian goes, "Hey, you got on the next Impactor shirt." Yeah, so Barbara was one of our contestants in the next Impactor back in 2019. And a retired nurse, right? Barbara Ellison, a retired nurse. Yes, I remember that about her. And Barbara, you coach people?
Yes.
You talk about your coaching.
Yeah. So I coach people, the PPD, I call it Purpose, Passion, and Drive. And I coach them, first of all, to understand who they are.
That's what you almost got sued for.
That's what I almost got.
Two of my 3 P's. You lucky you didn't touch that third one. We'd have been talking about court.
And I didn't even know.
I know it. But see what I'm saying, though? Because it's really what God has us all doing. You see? So it belongs to all of us. Keep going. Keep going. So who is your ideal client? What kind of person is perfectly suited for what you do in your coaching?
Well, usually it's mostly women, through like maybe ages 25 to 50, and have a business or starting a business, or just wanting to get their visibility out there and people know who they are and their own genius and their own uniqueness. So they come to me, we talk, I help them in, like the visibility part. That's why I had the opportunity in having this new channel that started. It was just put out, Loren, Saturday. I seen it on the E360, the Diamond Feather Network. And that's why I want to get more and more opportunities, so the women or whoever else, women and men on that part of it, come and shine their light. That's my purpose for others. Yes.
Perfect. There it is. You guys head over to e360tv.com and check out Diamond Factor Network, all the great content. And Barbara, thank you so much. You're welcome back anytime. What a great way to start this week off. And thank you for your vulnerability, your transparency, and for really just letting us know, just keep going. You can make it through anything. Thank you so much for that. You guys get out there and check Barbara out. And it's a matter of fact, today, it's first day of the week, but it's also the first day of the rest of your life. Find whatever it takes. It is available. Find it today and take yourself to your new highest form of yourself. Reach out there, ask the universe, ask God, ask Source to give you what you need today in this day to find your highest self. You'll be glad you did. And I'll meet you, God willing, right over there on the front porch this time tomorrow at 8 a.m. Central Standard, as we always do, Monday through Friday, where together we can have yet another illuminated conversation. Now get out there, change the world by changing yourself. And remember, in closing, as I say every day, I love, love, love you. And there's not a damn thing you can do about it. I'll see you tomorrow. Get out of here. Have a great day. Barbara, thank you. Great job. Love you.
Love
Bye-bye.
you.
All right. Bye, all. Have a great day.
Show me your soul. Baby, I'll show you mine. Show me your soul. Honey, it's way past time. How expensive do I have to be? Need I spell it out before you get it, baby? Show me your soul. And honey, I'll show you mine. I'll show you mine. Boy, I'm standing right here holding up a sign, shamelessly displaying my state of mind.